Be sure to subscribe for more content.
What is up, ladies and gents? Welcome to the BigBC Finance Channel, and I hope you're having a very lovely day. So in this video, we're going to be talking all about Luna Classic and why I think there's going to be a big price move coming to Luna Classic in the near future. It does look like something's been cooking up here on this token. I'll show you exactly why I think that later in this video, so be sure to stay tuned for all of that. Of course, I'll be giving you my price prediction as well to where I think the price of Luna Classic is going to go to after this move. So again, be sure to stay tuned for that. If you do enjoy this content and you haven't done so already, be sure to smash that subscribe button, hit the bell icon to be notified whenever I bring out videos like this. And of course, I do talk about what I'm thinking sooner than I can make these videos on my Twitter, so do be sure to follow me here on my Twitter. The link for my Twitter here is in the description down below. And finally, if you're looking for a really good place to be trading Luna Classic, then trade with me on the exchange that I use, MEXC exchange. The link for that is in the description down below. You get 10% off trading fees, fast deposits and withdrawals, and no KYC needed. So a really good exchange to be trading Luna Classic. You can get up to 200 times leverage on their Luna Classic futures as well. So again, link is in the description down below for that. And so without further ado, let's get started on this video, and let's just talk about why I think this major move is going to happen. So if we look at Luna Classic over the course of June here, we can see that June has been a pretty wild month for Luna Classic. You know, we've seen a general downtrend here on Luna Classic throughout the course of 2023. All of a sudden, this 37% pump, and things seem to be simmering down again. In fact, if we wanted to, we can draw some sort of trend line, kind of connecting the tops here of the price here of Luna Classic throughout the course of June really. And what you'll notice is we start to see something that looks a bit like a triangle. Now, of course, this is almost a perfect triangle with several tests of the support, this lower line down here, and the several tests of this resistance up here. We can see that there's been like at least 4 or 5 instances where we see price come to touch the supports and resistances by now. So we know that these are very reliable lines here, and of course with a triangle like this we would expect to see some sort of breakout. Now the price target for a triangle like this is going to be the first test of the support and the first test of the resistance. So if we look at the support down here first, we can see the first test is here, and if we draw it to the first test of the resistance, which is up here, and we just drag our measuring tool to where we think we could see the breakout, then you see that we've got an 18% trade there. It's going to take Luna Classic to around 11 cents. Now of course what we want to be doing now that we know this triangle exists is to keep an eye on what the price does when we get to the resistance and the support. So at the moment we're hovering in between, so we still got a bit of a ways to go, but what we want to do is if it gets to the support down here, keep your eye on, because if we start breaking below the support, that could be a 17 or 18% move in the downwards direction. And similarly, if we look at the resistance here and we start to see the price break through, you want to be keeping an eye on that, because if we do see a breakthrough, then we should be able to hit the price target here at 11 cents by doing something like this, for example. So, you know, this is an easy trade to catch if it does start to break out like this. Normally it's quite swift, so if we do see a breakout, you'll see the price jetting up quite quickly, something similar to how we saw it like this past this trend line here. And that's when you'll know that this triangle has been respected and we have seen a breakout. So we want to keep a close eye as to what is happening. Of course, if we have a look at how long this triangle has left, we can see that takes us to tomorrow. So, you know, something here on Luna Classic should happen by tomorrow. Now, the best case scenario, like I say, is this 18% upside to around 11 cents. And similarly, we could see the price break out to the downside as well. So the triangle tells us that there's going to be a breakout if it is respected, but it doesn't tell us in which direction. So we could equally see a breakout to the downside, which would take us down to 77.6 cents here on Luna Classic. However, I do think that is quite unlikely, as I've drawn this blue support here on Luna Classic. This is a very long-term, well-respected support here on Luna Classic. It's difficult to break down below this, because as you see, we can see that the price of Luna Classic has respected this really long-term support here. We've got several tests in this region here. We've got a test there, test here, test here. So if we count so far, that's 5 tests, and we have this wick that went underneath briefly, but they came shooting straight back up. So again, this tells me that even though the price dipped temporarily below this line, there was so much buying support when the price dipped below this blue support line here that the price is shot up really quick. So you know, the price doesn't like hanging down there too much. And of course, if we were to see 7.6 cents, then it would have to break below this support line and end up at 7.6 cents. So I do not think that's likely. I do think what we could see in the worst possible case scenario is the prices do something like this, where we just hover straight back down to the support line here, giving us about a 10% downside to this trade. So those are two possible scenarios that I'm potentially looking at as well, but nonetheless it should be quite a big move once we do break out, and obviously a really good trading opportunity. That is why I'm pretty excited about it. Of course, I will be trading that breakout again, like I say, through the MEXC exchange, which is linked down below. Of course, if we take a look at the RSI and the MACD as well, we can see that again, adding to the credibility of the triangle. We can have a look on the RSI. We can actually draw a similar trend line on the RSI here, connecting the lows and connecting the highs, and we actually do get that same symmetrical triangle. Now, of course, when we can draw these trend lines on the RSI and the MACD and we do see the same kind of patterns arise, this is just adding proof to the fact that we are indeed seeing a symmetrical triangle, and that we are going to see quite a big breakout once the price leaves the supports and resistance. So really good to see that the MACD and the RSI are also showing us these triangles on here, and we can use these to kind of support our theory on breakout. So of course, if the RSI breaks above the resistance here at say 52.53 and starts shooting up, then we know that we've got a breakout on the price as well. That kind of confirms the breakout on the price up here. So really good to look at the RSI and the MACD as well when we do see that breakout from that triangle there. Of course, another thing that I wanted to add as well is on top of the fact that we could be seeing a breakout here on Luna Classic over the next day, we do have in general a big area for altcoins. So not just Luna Classic, but just altcoins in general. We've got the total crypto market cap for all the altcoins, and in this area, and of course right now for the altcoins, we are in quite an important area. We can see that the market cap for the altcoins is hovering right by this long-term support and resistance. This blue line here, this line here has been both a support and a resistance for the altcoin market cap pretty much throughout since the start of 2022, when we saw that Luna crash in June 2022 there. And as you can see, I'm not going to highlight them all, but so many times where it's been used as a resistance there, support here, we got it used as a resistance several times in this area, then a support in this area, support in this area, and now we're seeing it as a potential resistance. The price is right by it, but of course it looks like at the moment we do see some sort of resistance, and we've got this downwards facing trend line on the altcoin market cap. Of course, if we are able to break past this blue line, this resistance that we have, continue going in the upwards direction, it would also break through this resistance here, and we could see the market cap expand quite quickly. And of course, that's going to add a massively bullish bias to Luna Classic. I do think Luna Classic will probably make that move up to 18% if we can see altcoins break through this resistance in general over the next few days. However, if we do get rejected and we start heading downwards here, so literally we've used this blue line as some sort of resistance, we have this gray line as some sort of resistance, and we start heading downwards, then of course that's going to add a bearish bias here to Luna Classic. So this is another thing I'm going to be watching out for. Basically what the market cap of altcoins does around about this area where the blue line is. Of course, if we can clear say 330 billion market cap, that's going to be very good. But if we get rejected and we start losing the market cap here and we start going back in this downwards direction, then of course we know it's been used as a resistance, and that's going to add a bearish bias to any move that's going to happen in crypto. So the chances are we might see a downwards move on that Luna Classic instead of that upwards move. So very important area right now, not just for Luna Classic but for altcoins, and pretty exciting stuff if you ask me. So all in all, that's pretty much all I had to say here on Luna Classic. Of course, we were seeing that triangle. We saw an 18% upside on that triangle, taking us to around the 11 cents mark. We can have a look at that again, and we can just draw a quick line. And we can draw a quick line to where the price target is, so exactly the 11 cents mark, which is up here. I do think the max downside is around 8.3 cents here for Luna Classic. If we do break below that triangle, if we do see prices break below the support line on the triangle. However, the absolute price target there would be around 7.6 cents, so an 18% downside as well. So that's pretty much all I have to say in this video. Keep watching out for the prices as they approach this resistance and support. If you do have trading view, make sure you draw these lines as well, as it could be quite a nice trade for you if you're looking to trade Luna Classic. But otherwise, that's all I have to say. So thank you so much, and I'll see you guys in my next video.